Welcome back. You are still with us right here on this beautiful Tuesday morning. The sun is out. It's looking very glorious, I must say. Beautiful, beautiful day. And I am joined in the studio by Audrey Chirenje, our resident bookworm. Good morning to you, lovely lady.
Good morning, lovely Marisa. How are you today?
Very well, thanks. Green on the top, green on the bottom. We're wearing green on green.
Yes,
so we're in the same great minds think alike.
100%.
Isn't that just wonderful? Now, look, we are going to go through this book, The Boy Who Learned How to Overcome by Benjamin Mukundi Kusotera. Now, I do know the Kusotera family. We did discuss a book by Naomi that she had written as well. So, I mean, this is a family of authors, isn't it? And I'm looking at the back of the book and I'm thinking, okay, who wrote the book? Benjamin. I'm like, Benjamin, he's like 8.
He's 8 years old and is in grade 3. And according to the mom, he just woke up one day and he said, Mom, I want to write a book and I've got a story. So she actually recorded him, you know, speaking about the story. Right. And then she and another person then helped him to make it into a book.
Because that's what my question to you was going to be like, okay, you're 8. And I mean, just looking at the content of his writing and everything, it's looking so phenomenal. I was going to say, how on earth did he do it? So, I mean, just now you clarifying, he was recorded and his mind and his vision was captured.
Yes, and even the cover, he actually came up with the cover concepts and he came up with he talks about a liger in the book, and a liger is an animal which comprises of a lion
and a tiger.
And I didn't know it was a real thing. I had to Google it. And
oh, is it? Is it actually a real animal?
It is a real animal. It's part of the cat family, and it's the biggest one in the cat family.
Oh my goodness, a mix between the two. Big cats, eh? Okay, so now this book, what is this book talking about? I mean, obviously something about overcoming. What are some of the issues that Benjamin touches on in this book?
Okay, so he talks about a boy who had a lisp. You know, a lisp is when you can't pronounce the S's and the Z, you know, and how the other people would make fun out of that. He also had a stutter. You know, the stutter, for most people, I know my little one also stutters when she's under pressure.
Okay.
It was really, really bad when she's small, but now it's better.
Gradually getting there.
Yes, so, but for some people it can be very bad. And it normally comes when people is fearful, under a lot of stress, or they're trying to express a certain point, and then people are not really letting them speak. Yeah, for some people that's when it really becomes bad.
Yeah, and you know, this, I mean, the first chapter, it's written stutter. I really love telling stories, but sadly I do not, because I stutter and I have a lisp. The other children at school laugh at me when I talk. So I avoid talking and telling stories. Imagine being trapped. Just that first sentence, like he's trapped. He loves telling stories, but he's really stuck. And something that comes with stuttering is the issue of bullying. You get bullied at home, you get bullied at school. What does he touch on the aspect of bullying?
And it's so sad, you know, like people will, you know, criticize and make fun of things that they don't understand.
Right.
This is actually a condition, and people are actually supposed to empathize. But then we find that at this particular school, there was a bully called Mantla, and he would always take poor Mkundi's lunchbox, and then every time he would try to talk in class or tell a story, he would laugh. And then sadly, he just resigned to himself to say, I won't be telling stories anymore. Yeah.
And you know, it's quite sad that you get bullies, and this is a big issue like in schools. I remember when my child was being bullied, he told me, because I always told him, tell me if something bad is happening so that we can sort it out. Don't ever be afraid of somebody doing something to you or threatening you because of who you are. So at the end of the day, touching on that issue of him getting out of, you know, sometimes it shows that he shied away and he kept quiet. How did he get out of this situation, this trap?
Okay, so in this case, he actually went to school with his 2 sisters, but even when the mom would ask, like at the dinner table, to say how is school, he'll just be quick to say I'm fine and give the sisters an eye to say don't say anything. But we find that in this case, they stayed in a farming community, and they had a neighbor, a guy called Masimba. So one day he invited them for a bonfire, you know, and the millies and all that, and they were telling stories. And he told him that, you know what, I would really love to grow up and become a motivational speaker and tell stories, but I can't because I stutter.
Yeah.
So Masimba in this case played the uncle, and then he told a story, you know, like Ngano, of Sekuru Gudo and Sekuru Baboon, and how he used to trick other people, you know, not into eating at a birthday party. And then in that instance, he made it a learning point to say, you know what, you always need to believe in who you are. And he asked him a question, so which animal, that's where the animal comes in now, to say which animal is your favorite animal, and he explained it was the liger. So Uncle Masimba then said, you know what, next time just imagine you're a big liger, you're fearless when someone wants to bully you. Yeah,
that is fantastic, having people in our lives who can actually help us get through, especially through storytelling, and all sorts. And chapter 7 is now talking about this is how we overcome, and it says the rest of the holiday was much smoother and joyful. Tatenda was making every effort to be nice to me. I was looking forward to going back to school. I had a boost in confidence and kept telling myself every day, God made me, I am a liger, I am confident, and I am courageous. And then we have a picture over here on the next page where it's a boy in the mirror, and he's speaking life into himself, self-affirmations. This is also another way of overcoming some terrible things or some things that we may have be self-conscious about. Do you know what I mean? So it says here, God made me, I am courageous, I am confident, I am like a liger. What affirmation do you tell yourself?
I tell myself different ones, depending.
Just one that's coming off the top of your head.
Okay, I tell myself that I am sharp and I'm intelligent.
That's good. And you know what I tell myself? I just say to myself, I can do all things. I can do anything. I am born for greatness. Do you know what I mean? So that gives you a boost. At the back of your mind, you always have something like that to hold on to. So in conclusion, Audrey, where do we find this book?
So this book is found at Kids Book World, or you can contact 0771 548 710, and the book is going for $20. I'm sure you saw it's got a lot of pages.
It does.
It's hardcover.
It's a hardcover
so
book.
So it's actually worth it. Everyone needs to read this book. And just adding to some of the lessons from the book, besides the bullying and then the power of affirmations, like you said, we also see a support system, the family,
the uncles,
the neighbors and all that coming in to support. And then identity and self-worth, like you're saying, you need to really know who you are and know that you're worthy despite all your shortcomings that you might think you might have. And then also adventure and imagination, because from his imagination he managed to bring out the liger to life and use that to just affirm himself.
And it's also education, because it's educational. I didn't know about a liger, now I do, because of this 8-year-old Benjamin who highlights the whole thing. I love what you speak about society and community with just being there for people, because sometimes someone can pull you down so much and you'll always write this script about your life and say, hey, I'm not worth it, or I can't do anything. But just having a friend or just community-based, I think is so important, one of the highlights of this book.
100%. And then also just a little bio about Benjamin. He's 8 years old, born and bred in Harare, and he lives with his family and mom and sisters. He's in grade 3, and his favorite subjects are English and Shona. I like that, because most of these kids nowadays, they don't like Shona.
Yeah.
But this particular one loves Shona. His hobbies include art and soccer, and he enjoys telling stories. So even, not to give spoiler away, but at the end of the book, he actually ended up joining the public speaking team.
Oh, wow.
And he was actually made a prefect. Yeah.
This is excellent. So this is based on a true life story or imagination?
No, fiction.
Fiction. It's really good how it's so fictitious from an very... Look, Benjamin, well done to you. This is a phenomenal book. It has order. It's educational. It's very loving. You know what I mean? So it just shows the kind of heart as well that he has. And obviously, train up a child in the way that they should go.
Yes.
Well done to Naomi and Benjamin's father for really raising this young man who's going to be a leader, and just bringing out the gifts that he has for other children to see that he can do it. And you know what? Because he loves English and Shona, Benjamin, I think your next book should be in Shona. Yes, we should write another book in Shona.
100%. And like you said, we thank the parents for supporting his dream.
Right, that's it. Well, we've come to the end of our segment. How much is this book? You said it's $20.
$20.
And we can get it from them?
Kids Book World, and we can get it from them direct. They can make an arrangement to drop the book.
Excellent. Audrey, thank you so much for bringing this book, and fantastic stuff.
Thank you, Marisa.
Right.